The CFS says forecast strong winds could push a fire on Cowperham Station in the Riverland towards Renmark West and Monash. Celise Gibson reports.
The service says the fire is burning in scrub 8 kilometres north of Monash and 7 kilometres west of Renmark. It's travelling in a southerly direction. The incident controller, Mark Thomason, says that's likely to change in the next few hours.
It's going to be influenced by some northerly winds, which was predicted to go around to northwest, and we're predicting a change to come through, which will slowly turn it around to the west and southwest.
The service says the fire could impact Renmark West and Monash in the next few hours.
The CFS says an uncontrolled fire northwest of Renmark is travelling towards Monash and Renmark West. Celise Gibson reports.
The service says the fire is burning in a southerly direction 4 kilometres north of Cooltong. It says the fire has now jumped Wentworth Road and expects a wind change in the next few hours will push the fire in a northeasterly direction towards Rotten Lake. Incident controller Mark Thomason says there's a threat to lives and homes, but no reports of damage so far.
At this stage, we haven't had any reports of fire impacting or getting near Cooltong.
An emergency relief centre has been set up at the Renmark Civic Centre. The CFS will also hold community meetings in Renmark and Berry at 8 o'clock tonight.
A fire in the Riverland is burning towards Cooltong, north of Renmark. Celise Gibson reports.
The CFS says the fire is about 2 kilometres northwest of Cooltong, travelling in a southerly direction. Incident controller Mark Thomason says it's hard to tell where the fire front is.
The problem for us is the smoke and the lack of access. We can't ascertain where the fire front is between Cooltong and Monash.
Cooltong resident Rolly Telfer says there's plenty of smoke in the area.
We're under a cloud of very dark smoke at the moment, but it's not really threatening our property here at the moment.
The CFS says community meetings will be held in Berry and Renmark at 8 o'clock tonight.
The Country Fire Service says the threat posed by an uncontrolled fire burning in thick scrub near Renmark has reduced. Celise Gibson reports.
The CFS says the fire is moving in a southerly direction about 2 kilometres from Cooltong and 6 kilometres from Monash. Incident controller Mark Thomason says the fire is now travelling at a slower rate towards the towns.
The calculation of the rate of spread, it's reduced the time period for the threat on that community.
Cooltong resident Jack Papagiorgio says there's still plenty of smoke in the area.
As I look around, there's a lot of dark clouds, a bit too close.
Old Wentworth Road has been closed. An emergency evacuation centre has been set up at the Renmark Civic Centre.
The Environment Department says recent bushfires in the Murray Mallee may have wiped out one of the last remaining populations of a threatened bird species. Celise Gibson reports.
The department says last month's bushfires affected 98% of the Billiat Conservation Park and Wilderness Protection Area near Allawoona. Public Lands Manager Sonia Dominelli says they destroyed thousands of hectares of habitat and severely affected many native species, including a rare type of bird.
Our predictions are low probability survival for Mallee emerans.
Ms Dominelli says the huge loss of habitat will also impact on other native species.
Those big patches are the sort of last resort homes, I think, for those threatened Mallee birds. So it's a significant loss.
She says the full extent of the damage won't be known for a few weeks as it's still too dangerous to survey the site.
Hundreds of volunteers are expected at Palmer, northwest of Mannum, from today to help those affected by the recent bushfires at Eden Valley and Rockley. Celise Gibson reports.
The volunteer-based organisation Blaze Aid is setting up a base camp at Palmer today. Its president, Kevin Butler, says up to 700 volunteers will work with local farmers to clean up fallen trees and rebuild fences over the next few weeks.
It's really to help farmers in a holistic way, get them back on their feet so that they can begin farming again.
He says it's an important part of bushfire recovery.
The greatest sight that you can ever see after a fire is a brand new fence going up a ridge that's been absolutely blackened.
Mr Butler says Blaze Aid is also looking at establishing a volunteer base camp in the southern Flinders Ranges to help those affected by the Bangor fire.